Well, I am back. I went to a quick trip to the junkyard and success. These are not 100%. They're not leather, but that's kind of nice. Actually, these are nice because they have leather on the outside, cloth on the middle. But I'm telling you, like these beige seats, they're all dirty. They're all dirty. So I'm gonna let these sit on the sun for a little bit to kind of get that junkyard smell out of them. And then I'm gonna have to shampoo the crap out of these. But I'm not even gonna mess with the leather mess that the other ones have. I'm gonna put these instead, and they match. So that's a plus. Bam! These are the seats, cleaned up, shampooed. I'm actually do another round of cleaning, but they're coming out pretty good. This armrest was so nasty, and it was like full of gunk, so I had to remove it. But man, it's looking great. So far, this is looking pretty good. I'd also cleaned the engine bay, degreased it. I noticed the coolant's low, the oil's overfilled, brake fluid's low, power steering's high. It's just all over the place. But everything's looking pretty clean now. And yeah, letting it run for a little bit. It's running like a champ right now. I'm going to try to see if I find the leak before I make any changes, because I don't want to do this job twice. I do know that that belt is completely shot, so I'm going to remove that and put a new belt anyways. And the alternator seems to be holding off. I don't have anything. It's running on its own, and it's reading 14.7 once it starts. This battery is kind of shot, so I'm gonna run a few more tests on the alternator and see how that goes. But man, so far this thing might turn out to be a pretty good ride. You know, to replace these stupid seats. It looks so nasty. Give it a good shampoo in here. AC is blowing cold, but starting to look pretty good. Starting to look not bad at all. So tomorrow I'm gonna see if I give it a good clean with JR's help here, and maybe we'll install the seats. But I want to take that battery out and have it tested as well. I do think the battery is shot, but you never know. Well, look what we got here. Some power steering fluid, power steering pump. So the quest continues on this bad boy. JR and Robert came by here the other day, and they did a phenomenal job cleaning this thing. Seats are in, and it smells decent in here. Pretty good, not bad at all. But with that said, it is time. Oh yeah, those are the new seats too. So we washed this up, put new seats in it, and the car's looking very good. Yeah, no complaints over here. So while we were actually cleaning the car, we did run it just to make sure it was running fine, but it did start leaking power steering. So I ordered a new pump. You kind of tell right there. We're going to replace that. We're also going to replace the tensioner. I'm gonna replace that belt, which is trash, and I think I'm gonna replace the starter too. It's just sticking. Brand new battery. So hopefully sooner or later we'll get this one done, out and running, and it'll be all good. Okay, so on to the first hurdle. Always inspect your parts before you install them. I just was looking at it and I noticed this board needed to be relocated, which is not a big deal because of another hole. However, On this particular pump, it was not tapped, which is not a problem for me because I have a nice Harbor Freight tap set. So I'm just going to, holes already there, so just gonna tap it in, take your time, make sure you lube it every once in a while, back it out, get all these chips out, and make sure that they're not going inside the pump. Gonna thread that in and go ahead and install it. And voila, just like that, after 5 minutes, change it from here to here. And honestly, like the Harbor Freight tap set is pretty cheap and it's perfect for stuff that is cast like this. Cast is pretty soft material, so you can cut right through it. Just make sure you don't damage the handle from the Harbor Freight stuff because it's garbage. But if you have a good tap set, it's a good investment. Get it. For stuff like this, it's just pretty much perfect to do it. Okay, the next order of business is to work in a clean environment. I know you don't have to do that, but I prefer it. We're gonna have to drain some of this fluid here and have a very sophisticated method. And it is this. This is one of those things that they use to clean the kids' ears and stuff. I just put a hose on it. You can stick it in there, just like so. And look at that. Beautiful. It works amazing. Might take a few tries, but it's better to do this now rather than to unhook everything and then you make a whole mess with a bunch of power steering fluid all over the place. Okay, so we finally got all the parts in. This should be a pretty straightforward job. First thing I'm gonna do is gonna remove this reservoir. Just put a screwdriver here on this little tab, pull it back, and you should be able to pull this guy right up. I'm gonna remove that clamp right there so you could get that hose off. I took that hose off on that side, so it should be fairly easy to get that out. And then we're gonna get in there and loosen the belt. This one's pretty bad. And then I think it's at 14. So let me see if I could get this thing out of the way and then we'll get to that. Okay, so I took the reservoir off and I don't know why, but that one said 15. So maybe someone was here and changed that. It's very rare to have a 15 millimeter bolt there. Since it's kind of tight to get in there, I did this whole wrench trick. Gives you a lot more leverage. And all you do is you pull on it and you loosen the belt. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but I'm gonna take that off and then you could just slide it off. I'm gonna slide it off from the top pulley and that should be pretty easy to take off. So far so good. There's a bolt right there. I just took that one out. And there's a bolt directly. If you go just straight down, I suggest use some deep sockets and make your life a lot easier. But you see, it's already coming off. I could probably get that off my hands. If you get some fluid coming up here, little trick is you can do is just, if you spin this the other way, you might suck it in. That way you make less of a mess. After that, the pump comes out pretty easy. As you can see, it's fairly nasty in there, which is, I usually don't wear gloves, but for this one I kind of wanted to, just because this stuff is everywhere. If you look under this thing, it's just like caked on there. It's been leaking for a while. So I am going to go ahead now, remove this tensioner here. I see one bolt there. Hopefully the other one is pretty easy to get to, but it might be sporty. It might be sporty because the engine mount is right there. So we'll see if I could get to it. One quick way to figure out what the other bolt is just to you look at your new parts. So obviously this is the orientation of it. That's the top bolt we already took out. That was holding the power steering pump. We see this has a bolt right there on that hole. And then if you look on the other side, it's that one. So we're gonna have to maneuver our way around the engine mount. Hopefully I can sneak in and get that one off without doing a lot of work. So bad news. I tried to get around there, but honestly it's not easy. So I think I'm gonna just take this mount off. So what you need to do in order to do that is just support the engine. Make sure you put a piece of 2x4 where you're gonna support the engine. Just jack up the engine just a tad, just so you get the tension off of these bolts. So you can take this all off. Seems like it's gonna be 3 17mm bolts and one ground. Make sure you put that ground back in there, if not you're gonna have all sorts of electrical issues. Well, that was fun. This one right here, if you don't have a really deep socket, it's going to be a bear to get one of these. I'm glad I'm going back to the gym because it felt like I was doing back day, but I got it loose. It will take some convincing, so make sure you get ready for this one. Hopefully you have a deep enough socket. Honestly, if you don't, just go buy one. It's no worth cussing this thing out. Just go get one that's deep enough, and then you could use the breaker bar like this and crack it loose, because that bad boy there, it is tight. It's not that tight, it's just it's tough to do with a monkey wrench. Success! So once you get that one out, I'll tell you, that one's gonna be a little bit of a maneuvering act. Swivels help. So I just put a swivel to an extension. And then you get the middle one, which is that guy right there. It should come right off. So what I'm gonna do now is I am going to clean a little, and I'm also going to install the belt just how it looks like, but with the new belt, because it seems like it's gonna be a lot easier to do it now. Hopefully, if not, I'll just get it from the bottom and do the serpentine right whenever I'm ready to do that. But I might just put it in place so it'll be somewhat in the vicinity of where it needs to be. So I'm gonna clean now because I don't like leaving this stuff like this. It's just all gunked up in here. Who knows how long it's been leaking. So let me clean a little bit. That's gonna take a while. I might just have to pick this up tomorrow and finish it off, putting it back together. But so far, smoothly, I would say, no, 2.5 to 3 out of 10 difficulty level. Not bad. Time to swap the pulley. So all I did was stick a screwdriver through all the holes into that bolt right there, and I just put the not even the impact driver, just hit it with the gun a few times, came right off. Yikes. So now this should come off, put in a new pump and put the nut on it, and we should be good to go. Got a tip for you guys. So when I was putting this guy back here, you know how that back bolt back here was really hard to get to? Put that one first, start that one first. It will give you a little more flexibility. And then I put this one on this side to kind of make sure it's centered, but just kind of to guide it. And then finally put the middle one over here. That kind of helped to put that bolt back in there. Progress. Okay, so let me tell you, putting this belt here, it's gonna be fun. Mainly because the way that the tensioner works, you gotta push it that way, but you gotta put the belt on the same direction that it's going. So what I did is I actually put the belt under the tensioner, and I put the belt right above here, which is not ideal. The only way you can do it, if you don't want to do that, is basically take this mount off again. If you take this mount off again, then you can pull it from the back here, and then you can just slide it in. So be prepared. If you're going to do this, I know I took this off already, might as well leave that off. It'd be a lot easier to just go from this side. Now that you got everything together, put the hose. I did notice that this fitting is actually on the old pump, is over here, but they moved over here. So this case series, I guess they just interchanged a bunch of stuff, but it does fit. It's just very close to the pulley there. These hoses will probably get to replace soon too. It's kind of hard. One lesson about this power steering stuff: make sure you always read what kind of fluid it uses, because on the Speed 6 I thought it used regular power steering, and it actually used ATF, automatic transmission fluid, which was really weird. So I put some just regular power steering fluid in there, and it just leaked everywhere. I destroyed that pump actually. I had to go get a new one. For this one in particular, it does call for genuine Honda fluid. I'm not sure if something else will work, but I'm not taking any risks. One thing also to notice is when you filling this up, fill it slowly, because if you overfill this, it's gonna come out the top. It's gonna make a big old mess. And this thing is already messy as it is. So just keep adding, probably to the minimum, and then go back and forth with the steering wheel to kind of bleed the system, and then add as you need some more.